And Miriam, we've got something a little different this morning.
That's
Bit of
right.
a change of format.
Yes, things are changing a little bit here on Weekend Breakfast. So let's get the latest news headlines now with Michelle Rafferty.
Good morning, guys. The body responsible for destroying Syria's arsenal of chemical weapons has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The Organisation for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, which is based in the Netherlands, was established 16 years ago and has worked around the world. But its current mission in Syria has brought its work into the limelight.
This is the work of the OPCW. Detecting, collect Nobel Peace Prize help bring about an end to the conflict.
Italy's Coast Guard says dozens of people have died after an asylum seeker boat capsized in the Mediterranean Sea. The boat got into trouble about 120 kilometres off the island of Lampedusa, where more than 300 asylum seekers drowned last week. Italian and Maltese ships and helicopters are at the scene. Earlier, our Europe correspondent Barbara Miller updated us on the situation.
It seems that the boat got into trouble. There are some reports that it sent out some kind of distress signal. Now, it was spotted by a Maltese aircraft. Again, not entirely because they can't swim. Some of the men can swim.
It's still unclear whether US politicians are nearing a deal to reopen the government and avert the threat of a default on America's debt. Senate Republicans emerged from the latest meeting with the President Barack Obama encouraged but admitting it was inconclusive. North America correspondent Lisa Miller says progress is steadily being made.
We waited 3 hours this afternoon to hear from them and see the government reopened early next week.
Back home, and two motorcyclists have lost control, crashed and died in two separate incidents in Sydney overnight. Police say a 32-year-old was killed after he hit an embankment on the Pacific Highway near the Harbour Bridge. On the other side of the city, another motorcyclist died after crashing into a traffic light pole at St Peters. The Labor Party has started counting the votes that will decide the new federal leader. The ALP says it's received around 30,000 ballot papers from rank and file members and started counting them last night. The caucus cast their votes on Thursday, but they won't be counted until Sunday, which is when the new leader will be announced. Under the party's new rules, the votes of the caucus will be worth 50%, as well as the collective vote of the grassroots members. Bill Shorten is expected to have won the caucus vote, while Anthony Albanese is believed to have strong support amongst party members. Meanwhile, the Federal Agricultural Minister Barnaby Joyce is in Mount Isa this morning to start a tour of some of Queensland's worst drought-affected properties. Around two-thirds of the state is now drought declared. The worst affected parts of Queensland have almost no rain since this time last year. A major conference on drones and aerial robotics is being held in the United States. The unmanned planes are not just used by the Army, but also by emergency rescue services and farmers around the world. And not everyone is happy with the technology.
These tools that exist much more easily violate our privacy or violate our rights than any unmanned aircraft system.
He was one of the last Nazis to be convicted of war crimes. Now, Erich Priebke has died after serving a life sentence for murders committed in Italy during the Second World War. Europe correspondent Phil Williams was granted rare access to Priebke before his death on the ABC's Foreign Correspondence program.
He was sentenced in 1998 for his part in the World War II massacre of 300 in Italy, and beyond will mourn his demise. Philip Williams, ABC News.
Now for sport with Sasha Mirzabegian.